comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's DK Wrestler here from a Funko Popcast, and in today's video, I'm going to be comparing Funko Pop figures to YouTooz figures. But before that happens, make sure you press that subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when future content gets released. But anyways, guys, let's check it out. So like I said in today's video, I am going to be comparing Funko Pop figures to YouTooz figures. Now, most likely you're probably watching this video because you are an avid Funko Pop collector and you might not have an idea of what YouTooz figures are, or maybe you're here because you are a YouTooz collector and don't really know about Funko Pops, or maybe you're here because you know of both figures and you just want me to discuss what I think realistically is better. So before I kick off this comparison, I am going to show off essentially for those that collect one or the other, or maybe both. I'll show off what each of them we're talking about. So a Funko Pop, which I have here, obviously a 4-inch standard figure. It comes in this rectangular box and it has some artwork all the way around here depending on the character, and then like the lineup of characters that are in essentially the set of Pops. So example, The Office. And then we have Creed Bratton here. Sometimes they are common, sometimes they are exclusives with a sticker here with the name and a little bit of artwork. And then for those that might not know what a YouTooz figure is, essentially YouTooz, which I have one YouTooz figure in my collection, and of course it is fellow Funko YouTuber Top Pops. YouTooz comes in these sleeves, and essentially you take the sleeve off, and here is the artwork of the YouTooz, where essentially here is the front here, you got a bit of the figure, and all the way around it has some awesome detail like "thanks for watching," click. So sometimes there's quotes on the back and even on the top flap where I won't open it, but like you lift it here and there's a quote underneath, which is really, really cool. There's a lot of detail as terms to the box compared to Funko Pop boxes, which is why in today's video we aren't comparing the boxes also, because I feel like, in my opinion, YouTooz kind of wins by a landslide as terms of the boxes, which in today's video I'm going to be comparing 5 characters that have been made in both Funko Pop and YouTooz figure form, and basically look at kind of the differences and what I like, and essentially maybe the similarities also, and determine pretty much of the character who did it better. Was it Funko with their Pop figures, or was it YouTooz with their figures? So the first person I'm going to be looking at is Ninja, which Ninja of course is a Twitch gaming streamer in which there was a Funko Pop and a YouTooz figure made, which we're gonna look at the Funko Pop first, which I do like the detail of the Funko Pop. You got the nice blue hair, you have the yellow bandana, and you got the nice dark blue shirt with kind of like the straps to hold, I assume, his swords, I'm pretty sure, and he's got his arm sticking out there, and then he also has just a nice pair of white shoes with yellow shoelaces. And overall, it is a pretty decent looking figure. Then we have ourselves the YouTooz figure, which you might know if you don't collect YouTooz. YouTooz likes to make their eyes kind of like this little like circular shape there instead of the normal Funko Pop eyes, which I like in a sense as terms of the characters. It depends which one it is though, which I think in this it's pretty decent. It's got the eyebrows, pretty much the same thing as the Funko Pop where you got the hair and you got the yellow bandana, but I am liking the light blue sweater, which is a difference between the YouTooz than the Funko Pop, and I really like the whole pose with the mouse that is hanging off of the one hand of Ninja. I think it looks really nice, but I feel like the pants are just a little too blue. Like, I mean, it's probably accurate to Ninja, but just personally, I just like the colorway a little bit better as terms to the Funko Pop. And one thing I do like about the Funko Pop also that is a little better than the YouTooz is the way the hair is. The hair is pretty much the same, except I feel like Funko did a little more detail as terms to kind of the stranding of the hair. With the YouTooz figure, it's like kind of all in one mold. You can see some lines to show that it is hair, but with the Funko Pop, you actually have the strands of hair, some going down, some going up. The one thing I will give YouTooz credit for of what I like about the YouTooz figure better than the Funko Pop for Ninja is the holding of the mouse. I like the detail of him holding the mouse, but at the end of the day, I am going to say that I actually like the Funko Pop of Ninja better than the YouTooz figure. Then I'm going to be looking at Mega Man, which we got ourselves kind of two different posings here, which might play a factor in this because the Funko Pop kind of is in a jumping pose, while in the YouTooz pose, it kind of has the kind of legs to the ground, and he kind of has like some sort of pose like that also. So with the Funko Pop, I like the detail with the helmet, of course. I mean, it's pretty much the same with the YouTooz also. It's very similar as terms to the helmet, but as terms to the face, I mean, you got a bit of a mouth with the YouTooz, but there's something with the eyes that I like better about the Funko Pop, even though not a lot of people like when Funko has, you know, the generic black color eyes of the circles there. But with the YouTooz, I do like when they do the little slit thing there, but I don't know how I feel about just having the white around it. Like, I felt like they could have just done just the normal black slit there, and then that's it. They didn't have to put the white in the background, because then I just felt like they could have just done a white circle for the eyes, or even a blue one instead of just doing that whole thing, or just make the black or blue slit there and not even add the white to the background. I kind of like the posing better with the YouTooz rather than the Funko Pop. Not a lot of people really like when pops are on stands per se. I mean, it makes sense. How else are you going to be doing a jumping pose for a figure besides that? However, I am going to give the edge to the Funko Pop, just because I think what ruins it for me as terms of the YouTooz is what they ended up doing with the eyes. I feel like even with just the normal YouTooz eyes of being black instead of having the white in the background with the blue, I think would have been a little better and could have taken out the Funko Pop per se. Then I'm going to be looking at the KoolAid Man, which I think is one of the newer YouTooz figures that had released. And then you have the Funko Pop, which in the photo I have here is the 10-inch variant, which it doesn't really matter in this case because for some reason on the Funko app, it doesn't show the actual like out-of-box figure for the original one that was a 4-inch figure. Both these are pretty decent. The Funko Pop, you have a nice wave going on. You have the nice face for the KoolAid Man, and I love the detail with the KoolAid Man Funko Pop where you have the ice cubes. I think that's really cool, and that's what makes this Funko Pop, I feel like, a little bit better than anticipated when it was first announced. And overall, just it's simplistic once again, but it is very effective as terms of the detail. The YouTooz figure is really awesome. I'm loving this YouTooz figure. I love how it is the KoolAid Man holding a jar of Kool-Aid, or not a jar, but like, what do I call it? A pitcher. A pitcher is probably the better name for it, of Kool-Aid. And I love the detail with the splatter of the Kool-Aid kind of going off there. The face is cool, and I like the way they executed with the YouTooz eyes. At least they didn't put a white background like they did with the Mega Man figure. It's just the normal YouTooz eyes. The thing I really love about this YouTooz compared to the Funko Pop is simply the bricks, because of course everyone knows about the "oh yeah" and then KoolAid Man crashes through a wall. I think that's really awesome, and I think they added detail to both the boxes, even though we're not talking about the boxes, but I think they added details to both of the boxes for both the YouTooz and the Funko Pop, where you have the bricks kind of breaking like that. And the one thing I do kind of find weird is that if you actually look at a photo of the KoolAid Man, it actually has like kind of a mixture of both faces as terms to the Funko Pop and the YouTooz, because the YouTooz has the mouth spot on, but I think the eyes and the nose is more spot on with the Funko Pop. So it's kind of like they made their own mouth for the Funko Pop, but kept the nose and the eyes and the eyebrows. But they made their own eyes and eyebrows and nose for the YouTooz and then kept the mouth. So I kind of find it weird that they kind of went that route, both companies respectively. But overall, at the end of the day, I do think that the YouTooz figure for the KoolAid Man is better than the Funko Pop, just because there's a lot more detail compared to the Funko Pop. Next figure we're going to be looking at is Shrek, which I think is maybe the newest figure as I'm recording this. I could be wrong, and actually I think is newer than the KoolAid Man figure. The Funko Pop, I'm gonna kind of like not crap on it too much, because this pop was made, I believe, in 2015, 2016 when I was first collecting Funko Pops. It is a little basic because it's just arms to the side, kind of like how Funko Pops were. I like the detail, of course. The overall outfit is a little plain. They basically got it, but essentially, like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. But then you have the YouTooz figure, which I'm just going to say right away, the YouTooz figure is way better than the Funko Pop. There is so much detail compared to the Funko Pop with this figure. You have the arms kind of out like this, where he's trying to scare people, which is really, really awesome. And another detail, of course, is the mouth, which is a huge disadvantage in terms of the Funko Pops, because the majority of Funko Pops do not have mouths, and YouTooz has mouths on their characters most of the time. I know there's some with like just a slit, but with this, you have an awesome mouth with like kind of the dirty teeth and the tongue, and the YouTooz eyes look really good on this YouTooz figure, and the outfit is a little bit more detailed, and you kind of have more of a dirtier shirt, and even the pants are different because there's more checkered, unlike the Funko Pop. And just overall, it is a better figure by far. I can't see anyone else really thinking that the Funko Pop is actually better than the YouTooz figure. And then the fifth and final figure we're going to be looking at, and it's probably going to be the most difficult because they are very similar, and that is the Heat Ray Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong, or Kong vs. Godzilla. I can't remember the exact way that the movie is called. These are very similar, like I mentioned. They have essentially the exact same pose, where the hands are kind of out. They're blowing the heat ray, and then they have both the same scaly skin. We're gonna look at the Funko Pop first, which I really like. I like the detail involving the teeth. You got the blue eyes. They even have a glow-in-the-dark version, which I can only imagine looks pretty decent if you can get a nice charge on it. And I really like how the heat ray is, and how nice and blue and translucent the ray is for this Godzilla. And just overall, it is a really nice detailed looking piece. And now we're looking at the YouTooz figure, just as great as the Funko Pop. It has a darker color than the actual Funko Pop, and I notice a darker color is turns to the ray that is shooting out of the mouth of Godzilla, but you also have the detail on the bottom there of kind of the ground kind of being pushed up because the ground is breaking from the ray. The one thing I'm not really a fan of is the YouTooz eyes in this case. I know all the YouTooz have those eyes, but just the YouTooz eyes in this case for the YouTooz figure just looks very weird with kind of the blue slit there, and then you have a little bit of black. So now it's a tough decision to choose which one I like better between the YouTooz and the Funko Pop, and I'm gonna have to give it to the Funko Pop. And it's not because I collect more Funko Pops than YouTooz and I'm kind of being biased. I think it's because the ray looks a little bit better. It's more brighter of a blue than you have with the YouTooz figure, although I love the detail with the ground being shot up from the ray with the YouTooz figure. And I like the eyes much better on the Funko Pop. They work better in this case than it does with the YouTooz figure. Before I conclude this video, I do want to mention that I like YouTooz and Funko Pops respectively in their own ways. Yes, I collect Funko Pops more than I collect YouTooz, but both companies produce really great figures, especially with YouTooz and how amazing the details are with their boxes. I do suggest, depending on what characters you like, to kind of dabble between both companies. I definitely say there are great Funko Pops, but there are also great YouTooz figures, especially because YouTooz kind of dabbles not just with the different licensors, but there's also different things that maybe Funko doesn't do, like example, like different YouTubers, like example Top Pops and Mr. Beast, that you can basically be like, man, I want that figure because I watch those YouTubers, but Funko has not made a figure. Both of them are great in their own ways. I'm not saying go collect Funko Pops and not YouTooz or the other way around. These are both great figures, and it was cool to kind of compare both Funko Pops to YouTooz and see personally between 5 different figures on what figures that I liked. Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let me know what figures you liked better from essentially each of them. And like I said earlier, press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.